So we talked at the top of the show about the meme stocks of today, but really the meme stock to rule them all is Tesla. That stock up a little bit in pre-market trade this morning, up about 3%, in fact, and that's coming after we continue to get, Julie, what to me seems like conflicting news on Tesla's sales trajectory in China. Last week, we had a story out of The Information that orders had been cut in half, and now news today that deliveries surged some 29% last month.
Yeah, it is confusing, isn't it? Deliveries just over 33,000, almost 33,500. Some of those were exported, by the way. About 11,000 of those cars were exported, many of them to Europe. So they're making cars in China that they are exporting elsewhere, but the rest of them were sold in China. So indeed, it is confusing that we're getting these conflicting reports. I think there was some other reporting as well, besides the information, that they saw a decline in deliveries. And Tesla's business in China is important, right? It's a big market for them. They are only the third largest electric vehicle maker, by the way, in China, behind the GM SAIC joint venture and behind BYD. So they're number 3 behind those. But there have been some public relations issues for Tesla. There was a crash involving a Tesla, and there are crash involving cars all the time, but they got a lot of attention in China in particular. There's been some regulatory scrutiny there of Tesla as well. So will that show in the official June numbers? Will there be more of this conflicting reporting? That, of course, is unclear, but it's really interesting because it is such an important market for them to see what exactly is going on there and try and get some more clarity around their situation in China.
Yeah, you're seeing the stock pop about 3% in the pre-market here. I'm just looking over a pretty good note from Wedbush's Dan Ives. He covers Tesla very closely. And in decoding why you're seeing the stock move here, Tesla sold 21,936 vehicles in China in the month. Whisper estimates were about 20,000. Also, too, Julie, playing off your point, again, Tesla's been dealing with a lot of PR issues. So the fact that they were able to put up almost 22,000 domestic sales in the country is very important. And then secondarily, look, Tesla's stock has been down over about 10% over the past month. So the market was expecting a worse number here. And I think that's why you're seeing some of the clawback in the stock in the pre-market. Now, ultimately, Myles, this puts the heat on Tesla to keep this momentum going in June. I think the new benchmark here for Tesla will be, at least for the bulls, can they serve up 300,000 deliveries in June? That's probably the next big number here.
Yeah, it's interesting in a way with Tesla. Whenever it gets back to these fundamental type quarters, the story gets more boring. And I think in general, all else equal, that's probably good for Tesla. Things have been very interesting with that business and that company, and of course their CEO for a long time. And I think the more that we can talk about the delivery trajectory for Tesla, the more that long-term bulls are happy with the story, because then the story is about their position in the auto market and not about whatever Elon is doing in his free time. And I think if my counter is right, this is the second day in a row we haven't discussed any Elon tweets, but we might have discussed some yesterday. Who could really say?
Well, yesterday he tweeted about the Plaid Plus. What is it called? The Plaid Plus?
Yeah, Plaid Plus. Does that count as an Elon tweet? So if he tweeted a thing that's fundamental to Tesla's business, does it count as
Doesn't count.
It doesn't count as a
I'm
meme
with you.
tweet, right?
Yeah, no. That's an actual fundamental announcement related to the company that he just happened to make on Twitter.
All right, so we'll count it as 2 days without having discussed Elon Musk's Twitter feed. We'll see if we can make it 3 in a row tomorrow.